Hi, and welcome to week 54 of the Monologue Project. I believe it's been a couple months since I've done a monologue. So we're all like in quarantine and stuff. So this whole thing has been a little bit of a downer. The reason I hadn't recorded one in a long time was actually because I was swamped. I was going to audition after audition after audition, and I was all over the place, and I was going to all these things. And as recently as like 10 days ago, I got to go and audition for my number 2 theater, and it was all going great. And then COVID happened. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The exciting thing is that I'm actually seeing a lot of people who are now taking on projects like this, which I think is great. I feel like, we've all done things in our lives, and I feel like this is the one thing that I've done that's probably been one of the smarter things I've ever done. So good. I'm glad that everyone's jumping on a similar thing. And anyway, so since I've now had a week to sit and pine and feel sorry for myself, I decided to heck with it. I'm going to come back and get some of these guys done. And so I decided I was going to just do both of them. I was going to do both the song and the monologue. And so I opened up my books and I turned to the next page, and the monologue is all about a slave dealing with this horrible fever that has run through the plantation and killed all these folks. And the song is all about dealing with the newness of solitude and how much that sucks. So how's that for irony? Whatever. That's what it's going to be. So anyway, so the piece this week is gorgeous in spite of it being a massive downer with everything else that's going on. So it is The Darker Face of the Earth by Rita Dove. The character is Phebe. This is written for a late teens African-American girl. She's talking about some situations her mom had when she Phebe was a child. And beautiful piece, very well done, very, very actable. It's a story piece, which they tell you not to do, but even with that, that in mind, it's absolutely lovely. Lots of nice imageries and lots of wonderful ways to have some things to chew on, which is always fun. Lengthwise, it's a little long, but I think that there's some internal cuts that can be done for audition pieces. I am seeing more and more pieces wanting to be 1 minute as opposed to 2. So that's something, you have to sort of figure out as well. But again, even within that, there are things in here that you can just sort of start in the middle and go towards the end. Still very, very much an auditionable piece. But I want to see some of you guys do some pieces like this because it's a party and it's out there, so you should do it. Anyway, all that said, I hope you guys are well and happy and enjoying your quarantine. And this is The Darker Face of the Earth by Rita Dove, Phebe. Mama worked in the kitchen until I was about 5. That's when the fever broke out in the quarters. She used to set table scraps out for the field hands and stuck wildflowers in the baskets to pretty them up. Mama said you never know what a flower can mean to somebody in misery. That fever tore through the cabins like wildfire. Massa Jennings said the field hands spread contamination and forbid them to come near the house, but Mama couldn't stand watching them just wasting away, so she started sneaking food to the quarters at night. And the fever caught her too. She couldn't hide it long, and Massa Jennings found out. Mama started wailing right there at the stove. Hadn't she been a good servant? Who stayed up 3 nights straight to keep Massa's baby girl among the living when her own mother done left this world? Who did he call when the fire needed lighting? Who mended the pinafores Miss Amalia was forever snagging on bushes? Mama dropped to her knees and stretched her arms along the floor. She didn't have nowhere to go. She'd always been at the big house. Where am I going to lay my poor sick head? She asked. He stood there staring at her like she was a rut in the road and he was trying to figure out how to get around it. And he straightened his waistcoat and said, "You have put me and my child in the path of mortal danger, and you dare ask me what to do with your nappy black head." He didn't even look at her. Just spoke into the air like she was already a ghost. She died soon after.